I'll tell you a story that still feels like a knot in my chest every time I think about it. It started with something small, something that never used to matter, a dirt road. Just a strip of ground my dad always called the back vein of the farm. That road carried everything for us. Seed trucks, harvest trailers, even my father's casket when we buried him under the oak tree by the hill. It wasn't glamorous, it wasn't paved, but it was ours, and it had been ours for 3 generations. Then came Melissa. She wasn't just some passerby looking for a shortcut. No, she made a whole spectacle out of it. Bright red sports car, music blasting so loud the cows bolted, phone held high so her followers could see her grinning as she carved deep ruts into my fields. She called herself the queen of the backroads. Thousands of people laughed and cheered as she streamed my land being torn up in real time, while I stood there on the porch gripping the railing so tight I thought it might splinter. And when I saw those hearts and laughing emojis float across her screen, I felt something shift inside me. That was the day patience ran out. You see, I tried being civil. First time I caught her, I waved her down, pointed at the sign that clearly said, "Private property, no trespassing." She just smirked, revved her engine, and told me maybe I shouldn't have put my farm where people needed shortcuts. Next day, she came back louder, bolder, and by the 3rd time she had friends with her, hooting and hollering while beer cans bounced out their windows. By the 4th, she was live streaming me like I was some angry background character in her show. I called the sheriff more than once, but they shrugged, said unless I had video proof, there wasn't much they could do. Melissa wasn't just some random neighbor. She was head of her HOA, came from money, had the county officials wrapped around her finger. My word against hers wasn't going to mean a thing. So I made up my mind. If she wanted a show, I'd give her one. Not with shouting, not with fists, but with the one ally she could never outspend, the land itself. There's a low stretch of pasture near the corral, clay underneath that turns soft after a rain. I'd once buried a tractor up to the axles out there. Took 2 machines and half a day to drag it out. I knew Melissa would pick that path. It was the smoothest, perfect for her dramatic entrances. I started working nights after chores, laying out sprinklers under the straw, mixing clay with fertilizer until the soil was a sponge. I covered it with fresh topsoil, tested it with a hay bale that sank slow and steady until it vanished. That was my welcome mat. And then I waited. 4 days later, I heard it. The low snarl of her engine, the thumping bass rolling over the ridge. She came barreling down like a peacock on wheels, sunglasses glinting, phone pointed right at me. "Here he is again, folks," she shouted. "Old farmer trying to stop me. Watch this." She waved like I was a prop, then gunned it straight across the pasture. My thumb pressed the remote in my pocket. For a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then came the sound, the sucking slop of mud giving way. Her car dipped once, then twice, then sank like bread dough in water. She panicked, hit the gas, and the tires spun helplessly, flinging mud across the sky. Her laughter died mid-sentence, replaced with shrieks as she jumped out and sank to her knees in muck. Designer shoes gone, mascara streaking down her face, all of it live to her thousands of viewers. I didn't move. I just leaned on the fence, arms folded, and let the cameras I'd set up record everything. She screamed it was sabotage. She threatened lawsuits. She pointed at me and called me a psycho. I only raised my voice once, calm as stone. "Trespassing's still illegal in this county, last I checked. And you've been live streaming the evidence yourself." Her face froze when she realized her whole stunt was the rope she'd hung herself with. Word spread fast. By morning, the diner in town was buzzing. Someone clipped her fall into the mud, slowed it down, and titled it "Karma in Action." It hit millions of views in days. Melissa, queen of the backroads, had become queen of the bloopers. But embarrassment wasn't enough for her. She came back swinging. A lawyer's letter showed up, claiming I'd set a death trap and ruined her luxury car. My old friend Vic, who practiced law in the county seat, laughed so hard he nearly fell out of his chair. We countersued for trespassing, property damage, and harassment, with her own videos as Exhibit A. Court didn't take long. When the judge saw the footage of her laughing while tearing through my farm, and then saw the spray paint she'd tagged on my barn later out of spite, he slammed the gavel so hard the whole room jumped. Case dismissed. Warning issued. She left the courtroom pale and shaking. You'd think that would have ended it, but pride is a stubborn thing. Melissa started posting online about how I tried to kill her, painting me as some deranged old hermit with booby traps. Her HOA buddies staged inspections on my land with clipboards and cameras, pretending they had permits. I filmed every second, sent it straight to Vic, and by then the judge had enough. He signed a restraining order. Melissa was barred from coming within 200 yards of my farm. For the first time in months, I slept without alarms going off in the night. But the internet doesn't forget. She doubled down, built a little army of followers convinced I was some kind of rural tyrant. They started leaving trash at my fence, spray painting county road signs, even live streaming from the edge of my property. One night, 3 of her fans tried to sneak in, but my trail cams caught their faces crystal clear. Sheriff hauled them off for trespassing. The next morning, I found Melissa's marriage had collapsed, her HOA power gone, lawsuits piling up. And still, she kept chasing attention, even selling justice for Melissa mugs online. I saw her one last time at the grocery store. No sports car, no followers, no lipstick or heels. Just plain sneakers, hoodie pulled up, a basket with bread and milk. She looked smaller than I remembered. Our eyes met, and she muttered, "You ruined my life." I told her the truth, softly, without anger. "No, Melissa, you ruined your life. The land just reminded you." She blinked, but no words came. She turned and walked away, cartwheels squeaking down the aisle. For the first time, I didn't feel fury or triumph. I felt pity. That night I sat on the porch, coffee in hand, stars stretching clear across the sky. The farm was quiet again, fences standing strong, cattle chewing in peace. I thought about my father, my grandfather, men who knew land wasn't just property, it was responsibility. You respect it, defend it when you must, and sometimes if you're patient enough, it defends you right back. Melissa never understood that. Maybe she never will. But I do, and that's enough. So if you've ever dealt with your own Melissa, or an HOA that thinks it owns more than it does, you'll understand. Sometimes justice doesn't roar. Sometimes it just sinks slowly into the mud. Now I've got to ask you, what do you think? Was I right to let the land teach her that lesson, or did I go too far? Was it justice, or just stubborn pride on both sides? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Share your own run-ins with entitled neighbors. And don't forget to hit subscribe if you want more stories like this one. Because trust me, out here, the dirt never forgets.